baba vanongotaveka pamwene hemuri dzavo momo yezimbabwe ichishaya chekubata mumoyo mangu muzere chungu zhinji kwazvo moyo wangu moyo wangu moyo wangu neshungu 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 chinogaro tsaru dzavatungamiri vatinona asi zanu yacho inongotibiridzira moyo yavo ifara kuona tichingotambura avana nyadzi avatombotyewaii ivo vakarwara vanorapwa kunze kwenyika zvipatara zvizhinji hazvina kana mishonga zuva nezuva hama zhinji dziri kufa asi zvose izvi havana hanya nazvo moyo wangu moyo wangu moyo wangu neshungu moyo wangu moyo wangu moyo wangu neshungu moyo wangu moyo wangu moyo wangu neshungu moyo wangu moyo wangu moyo wangu neshungu.
Blessed day to you all, our Change Radio viewers and listeners, and also those of you who are joining us from Zimbabwe. We wish you all a warm welcome to this week's episode of News Review, where, as usual, we have an exciting lineup of stories to review with you. Let me give my co-host a chance to, my panelists, a chance to meet you, our viewers and listeners, introduce themselves, and then we go straight into the matter of the day. Panelists, sangana yenyu nevateereri nevatariri.
Thank you, Estella. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. Thank you so much, Zimbabweans, for joining us on your weekly program, News Review. And Mkomana wazadza Masvingo. We are going to talk about that. I will also talk about the Kenyan elections. If Kenya can did it, why can't Zimbabwe did it? So we will be talking about that. The Kenyans are doing it there. And then, of course, I will also have other topics that made the headlines during the week. DJ Prof.
Yes, regainditi makadini kumativi mana ese pasi rose kwamuri tinoziva kuti maZimbabweans takatekeshera nepasi rose tichiri kusangana zvakare muchirongwa News Review, chirongwa chamunopiwa neChange Radio musi wesvondo wega. Tinoziva kuti kune dzimwe nyika yava Monday kana kuti chiri Saturday, depending nekuti muri kupi nenguva dziri kwamuri ikoko. Tinokuchingamidzai, tinenge tichikutaurirai zviri kuitika munyika nezviri kuitika zvakare kune dzimwe nyika dzatingati dzine ushamwari nesu zviri kuitika ikoko zvatingafunga kuti mungada kuziva kana kunzwa. Thank you so much. Let me give in to DJ Loveness.
Thank you, DJ. Tinogamuchirai vadiwa vateereri, and we really appreciate your commitment, your sacrifice with us on this news review. Patinotaura nyaya dzose dzanga dzichiitika the whole past week. My name is Loveness Botora in Johannesburg. We are happy to have you tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, panelists. Before we go into the first topic on our list, can I just remind you, our viewers and listeners, to share this live to other pages so that we get as many people coming in as possible, and also to like our Facebook page if you haven't liked it, subscribe to our YouTube page if you haven't done that. Thank you so much. The first topic yamuri kuona iri pabhana redio ndemukomana wazadza kumasvingo. I'm sure you're all aware that President today, and it was a very eventful day they had there. Chief, would you like to walk through how the thank you
Yes,
rally went?
yes, it was a big day in Masvingo. All roads were leading to Mucheke Stadium. The president, the people's president, the citizens' president, Advocate Nelson Chamisa, landed in Masvingo. And, everything stopped in Masvingo. And everyone, Vanwese, my citizens, ese, congregated in Mucheke Stadium. Kate Takatiki Stadium. We know that Zanu PF tried by all means, to try and stop that rally. Even during the rally, they were switching off electricity using ZESA. People at ZESA were being used by Zanu PF to try and disrupt proceedings in Masvingo. But all was defied. The president, the people's president, managed to address a thunderous crowd, thousands and thousands of Zimbabweans there. Ndokwakatangira kastatement ikakake kuti mukomana wazadza zveshuwa wazadza Masvingo wangu akazadza Mucheke Stadium yose. And I think as we go into the president's speech, you will see that the president touched on all areas of concern, the economy, the policies that Triple C is going to implement. He also took this time to respond to some of his critics. As we had other leaders, some people, even from other political parties that were saying President Chamisa must get in the streets and make the country ungovernable and demonstrate and so forth and so forth. But of course, these are people that have their own political parties, that have their own political outfits, and you would expect them to be doing the same things that they are telling the president to be doing. But the president answered them. And he also took time in a way without mentioning it, without saying anything. He also managed to answer another critic, my favorite pastor, Pastor Chiwenga. I like Pastor Chiwenga, but sometimes Zinomborasika also. So I heard him being answered today. We are going to play some of the messages, different messages, very important messages from President Chamisa today, and I will try to analyze that. Prof, you can go on while maybe Estella is trying to look for the first clip there.
Yes, definitely the president was in Masvingo. As you just heard, viewers and listeners, that he was in Masvingo for a thank you rally, thanking the people who voted for Triple C in Masvingo. I think like what he has said during the campaign time around March, February thereof, he said that we are the listening leadership. When you vote for us, we'll come. And he promised them that I'll come here, but I'm not going to come to the same venue because I know you'll be voting for Triple C overwhelmingly and resoundingly, and we will be needing a bigger venue. Hence, they opted for Mucheke Stadium today. And he was speaking to people around the critic, like Chief has said, and definitely he answered a lot and a lot of questions, and others were answered in parables and idioms, but he was answering questions that the streets are having, and a lot of people are posing to him indirectly. That's what he was doing today. But more importantly, he was saying he went there to congratulate the councillors who won in Masvingo, as well as to congratulate the people of Masvingo for smelling change that is coming very soon. You can
thank you
play.
so much. All right, yes, let's go into the first part of our clip.
Mufaro wangu wandinao nasi ndewo kuti patakapedzisira kuonana takaonana kujeko tarambidzwa kuita musangano muno ngatiserera kugosiyana nezvimwe zvamukutaura. Taonana kujeko taikumbira vhoti kwamuri. Takumbira vhoti kwamuri, makatipa vhoti iyoyi. Muno ndokubva takwapaidza vamwe vaya vatinokwikwidzana navo. Vakanga vauya nemari, vakanga vauya nemasese, vakafunga kuti muri hove. Asi makaramba mukati wemisi kwete, hatisi hove, tiri vanhu, we are citizens. Thank you, Masvingo. Noremekedza vakuru vese vari pano, ma-10 champions vari pano, community leaders vari pano, our members of parliament, nokutendai. Naona mauyawo pano kuchikuta pamhemberero dzakadai. Vakuru vemakereke vari pano, ndanzwa pane mabhishop nemapastors vari mukati, tinokutendai. Naminista vatsenura shoko pano, munhu waMwari ndoshoko rezokwadi ravataura. Thank you very much, men of God. Vamwe vakuparidza nhema, vaparidza zokwadi yaJesu Kristu. Thank you very much. Pamusoro ivakuru vemapurisa vehurumende vari pano, vanenge vasiri havo muuniform, nevakomana vedu vesiaivo, ndokamusangano wenyu wehurumende iri kuuya, kwete zvimwe zviya. Mazadza Shanduko Zimbabwe! Shanduko Zimbabwe!
There you have it, viewers and listeners. That was just a short clip from the president's speech. And as we proceed with our program, we are going to come back to the president's speech and give you another short extract again as we analyze and discuss. And feel free to post your sentiments, your comments in the comment section. And if you have any questions, we will definitely address them. DJ Prof.
Yes.
President vatanga speech yavo vachitaura nezverally yavakaita last year handiti
izvozvo
vakati last time vakarambidzwa kuita kuna rujeko, and I understand this time again there were some issues with this event being held in Mucheke. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, so takuziva kuti chachigariro musoro weshuro kuchaiwe nyanga. Vanhu veZanu PF vanozama nepose pavanokwanisa kuti misangano yese inoadhiraswa naPresident Nelson Chamisa ikwanise kurambidzwa. Regai nditange nekupa muenzaniso wemusangano wakatorambidzwa nezuro chaiwo kunonzi kuKondo kuChipinge. Vakarambidza musangano waifanirwa kunge wakaitwa ikoko, vakati izvoni hazvisi pamutemo, asi panzvimbo imwe chete iyoyo yaitwa musangano pakaonekwa pachiitwa musangano weZanu PF nevanhu veZanu PF, asi pakanga pakazara mapurisa anembwa nemabaton stick nematiegasi kuvharira vanhu vetriple C kuti vaite musangano wavo wokutendwa naPresident kuti makaita basa, makavhotera change, makavhotera kansela wetriple C kunharaunda iyoyo. Tochiuya zvakare, muri kurangarira kuti vanga vachitaura nenyaya yekurujeko yegore inofunga kutanga gore nana February March there about vananyimbotaura zviya. Musangano iyoyo zvakare wakazotoitwa zvenharo, vatoita zvekutoendesana kumakoti kuti tikwanise kupiwa mukana iyoyo. Zanu PF yange yatinda kuita musangano wedu ipapo, saka mukwanise kuita musangano wenyu ipapo. Tobva tati tochienda paopen space yekumucheke kwatatiri nhasi, kuopen space panze paya, zvikanzi tine musangano futi ipapo. Koti ndobva yazomirawo zvikanzi aka hamuzotangi kubata kwese, oita kuti mosungirira gashi mugumbo rezvimbwanana zvose. Kune vanda kuzochuzawo kuti toda chakati. Tikawina kesi iyoyo tikakwanisa kuita musangano weparali, ende munoziva kuti kune vanhu nyanduri vanonyanya kuremekedzwa vari kuna Masvingo, vanhu vakafanana nana baba Mauchi vakatombobatwa vachienda kumusangano iwoyo zvakare wetriple C kuti vavharirwe kuti vasakwanisa kuenda ikoko, asi vakavataurira kuti inini handirambidzwi kuenda kwandinoenda because ndiri nyanduri, ndikuda kunoita zvakasiyana siyana. Saka chatova chigariro kuti Zanu PF haitombodi ende inototya. Kana mukatarisa dande mutande reTwitter raPresident Nelson Chamisa nhasi nezuro vachitsanangura nenyaya yekwaKondo kuChipinge, vakatotaura kuti vakomana ava vari kutya, vari kugwagwadza chaiko kutotya, havadi kutombonzwa panotaura mukomana, because mukomana akangotaura kunyanya kwakwaKondo yanga iri rural kuruzevha. Saka vanototya because ivo vane kanyaya kavo kaiko kuti kuruzevha ndekwedu. Saka vakatya kuti vanozoona kuti mukomana ane vanhu paruzevha, vakati bheta kumurambidza. So izvo nhasi ndichipedzisa kuMasvingo nhasi zvakare zvanga zvakuda kutanga, hanzi zvikamubata zvinomuisira mumvura kana mumoto. Vamwe vevanhu vanga vachifanirwa vaenda kumarali ikoko, motikari dzavo dzabatwa pamaroadblock. Ndinotenda kuti ndanzwa manheru anayo kuti motikari dzinenge dzabatwa dzasvika kuma 7-8 dzadzoserwa varidzi vadzo nhasi, mushure mekunge vanga vakatuma idzodzo kuti vasakwanisa kuenda kuMasvingo. Asi munoziva zvinoita vanhu, pazongosara dhiraivha muridzi wemotikari, vanhu vabva vaita mahaiki vachipinda mune dzimwe motikari dzachingodarika vakatoenda kuMasvingo. Saka ndopaunoona kuti mukomana anodiwa, hakuendeswe mazupuko, hakuendeswe motikari dzehurumende kunotakura vanhu, vanozviendera voga. Ndofunga kana mune mavhidhiyo mukaona kuti kune vamwe vanhu vachitodambudzira nemumasango chaimo kuenda ikoko, kuenda kumucheke, because vanhu vanobva mucheke zviduku vanofanirwa kudarika nepabridge pamakavharwa roadblock, pasingabvumidzwi kudarika motikari. Vanhu vakapinda nemusango nemujairo kuya kuti vakwanise kuenda kunoona the people's president achitaura. And the stadium was put today. Tinotenda vanhu veMasvingo and tinotenda the triple C champions vakwanisa kuti program iyo iite, kunyanya the leadership of Masvingo, the provincial leadership, nemabranches nemadistrict leadership ari muMasvingo imomo. Tinotenda stereki. ndo zvatikada kupa kuvateereri nevatariri vedu. Thank you.
Thank you, DJ Prof. Chief Leader Loveness, would you like to add on to Satoru and DJ Prof, or to bring up another issue altogether? Muripa mute, Leader Loveness. Leader Loveness, you're on mute.
All right. Yeah, I was saying, Professor, I liked the term kuti Zanu PF iri kutya. For sure, iri kutya. Kutya ikoko is the reason why vari kuita zvinhu violently. Vari kuda kuedza kutyisa matriple C, ndosaka vari kuincluda violence muzvinhu zvayo. And panyaya yokuatenda marallies, Zanu PF inotora mazuko buses yogoenda kunofa vana vechikoro, inoforsa almost everyone vanenge vakwanisa ku. I think it's part of kidnapping. Kuita kumanikidza vanhu vaende kurally vachimuzadza. Rally yetriple C, President Chamisa pavanonzi vari kumira, vari kuuya, vari kuenda kwakati, kunozara, mukomana anozadza. Vanhu vanozviendera, vamwe vanoenda netsoka, vamwe vanoenda nemota dzavo, hapana bhazi rinotakura vanhu kana kuti chii, which is a good thing. Zvinoratidza kuti vanhu vari kuda kuti President vedu Nelson Chamisa vapinde next year, and it's showing hope kuti there is something good that is coming. Thank you.
Yeah, Hanzi wazadza mukomana wazadza, but before I comment, let me go to the comment section. Makakosha vanhu vanonyora comment section, please interact with us, tell us what's going on, where you're watching from. Shamiso Bobo, Hanzi Masvingo yazadza, Bongo General Volume Bo, Vivian V, but Gambagwe said it was top. I don't know who told him. Amgatedzere zvagambagwe here. Gambagwe akadya mari yeZanu, saka akuidzorera manje. Mari yeZanu haidyiwe. Shamiso Bobo, ED, gara pasi kana vakuru vachitaura. Triple C woye. Kana vakuru vachitaura, vakuru ndana President Chamisa. Shamiso and Florence Chifedza, Gambakwe, Murakash uyo. Handizvozvo chaizvo. Mouthpiece yeZanu, ndobvumirana newe Florence. Bongo General, please, we want our votes to be protected next year. Tichaibata nyaya iyoyo patinenge taakutaura nezveKenya. Bongo, iwewe wacho futi, be prepared to defend this vote. Everyone has to. Freedom Tendai. Chairman, our interim chairman for Zambia, Mr. Chimbetete, thank you for being here. Ndikuona muri kushare program yedu kuma group of Zambia. Let's all do that. Let's share this program so that we can all hear and discuss what the people's president was saying. Shamiso Bobo, Hanzi Kukondo ndiko kwakapiwa mabuckets here eZanu PF makadhakwa 2023 mulume ndizvozvo chaizvo zvauri kutaura. Kwakapiwa mabuckets, kuKariba vakapiwa malollipops, kuMasvingo kuRujeko vanga vachiita zvemasese zvanga zvichitakwa napresident. Vanga vachiita ihove dzinoda masese, asi vanhu havasi kuda masese, vanhu havasi kuda zvezvozvo, havasi kuda mabuckets. People don't want lollipops. People want freedom. People want the people's president to be in there so that their livelihoods may improve. Joe Mazipetele ngapinde hake mukomana, watching from Durban, Bongo General. Yes, we appreciate you. All those who are tuning in, please, let's continue to share this video. But going back to the rally again, something very important that the president addressed, that he talked about. Structures. What structures are you talking about? A lot of people have been making noise on social media. Jonathan Moyo, Anamawarire, all the other people. Hanzi muri kutsvagei panyama yehuku yemuye ana Johnso, muri kutsvagei papo zvema structures So he answered those people. The party is doing well, the movement is doing well, with or without structures. Havazive kuti tema structures here kana kuti hatina. Havazive kuti tiri kuronga chii. Hanzi naPresident Chamisa, let's keep them guessing. Let's keep them guessing. Vasamboziva kuti kurongerwa kupi. We know kuti ZANU-PF wants us to announce our structures, announce the leadership, so that they can start going to those people, offering them money, and then infiltrating us, getting important information. Now, they don't even know where the important decisions are being made. And they're actually mad about that. They are going crazy about that because ZANU-PF always uses the people within. Now they don't even know who within should they talk to. Who within should they infiltrate, because this is a completely different strategy. Like President Chamisa said in Masvingo, we are doing things differently. We are bringing a new way of doing things. And that's the same thing that he said even when we started this movement, that we are bringing a new culture, a new way of doing politics that has never been seen, before. And I can tell you, some people, sometime 10 years to come, they will be, coming to Zimbabwe and asking, how did you do it? We want to copy your strategy, because this strategy has never been used. Where you are a movement and you are not, there are no known structures, but people are working. People are working as I'm speaking right now. People are working in the rural areas. If people are not working, you would not have seen the thousands and thousands of people that thronged Masvingo. Those people can only come when they've been mobilized. So this structureless movement is able to mobilize thousands to attend rallies. It's able to mobilize thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, to go and vote and win elections. So, varikutaura vana Jonso and other people, varikutaura nyaya structures. Garai pass. Keep them guessing. We'll keep you guessing.
There is a question which I think begs answering. Sorry. Yeah, hanzina bonge general pane vari kuvhunza kuti kunoguma rini kuregister kuvhota.
Kuregister kuvhota kunotozoguma a month or so. Vano declare date ravachadaro, but it's usually a month or even a few weeks before the elections. They just do that cut off so that prepare update the voters roll. But otherwise, voter registration never ends. A lot of people don't know that. Even immediately after elections, voter registration will still be ongoing. It doesn't stop. So if you haven't registered to vote, please go and register to vote, and then also prepare to go and vote.
But
in addition to that, Chief, vanhu register now, as early as possible now. Why are we encouraging people to do that now? Remember, we were given a date, the 31st of May last year, to say this year, 31st of May, they will be closing votes. They will be closing registering to vote. But again, we manage takaenda ku court, and we manage vanhu vakaenda ku court, not part, but the people, the citizens went to court, and they managed to subpoena or to get an order to say the registration must continue. So now ZEC is pressurizing for them to close, and vari kuunza nyaya yekuti they want to work on delimitations. Saka vari kuda those numbers. So as long as for now teaching an order, rakanzi, they must continue registering people for now. People must go and register. Don't wait for December. Don't wait for early next year. We might not know anytime. ZANU can come with soldiers and guns and make ZEC stop. So now can also register to vote. Voter, go and register to vote now. Do not wait. ndinoziva kuti vamwe vechidiki vakafanana neni ndozvavari kufunga izvozvo kuti tinondorejesa muna January next year. We only 15% of young people who are aged between the age of 18 to 40 vasati 18 to 35% vasati vakwanisa kuregister. We only 15%, saka the rest of 85% havasati varegister kuvhota, and I'm sure are those ones vari kuti tichanoregister kana zvakuda kunovhara. Don't take chances of kana zvakuda kunovhara, because you never know when pavachati takumira. But like Chief has said earlier on, that registration does not stop. Even a day after election, we will continue registering. But there will be a time where we are not stop. Vote 2023 will stop here. We are not register you in 2028. So we want you to vote in 2023. So better be ready now than later. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think manyatsotsanangura zviri clear zvekuti vateereri nevatariri vanyatsowana a clear picture of, you know, why it's important for them to do it now, even though voter registration is open until probably elections and after, but it's important to do it now for the reasons Zamanyatso very clearly. Thank you so much. Pane comment yandaona yandanga ndafunga kuti it's just good to highlight it. Anzina Prince King Sandile Genga, they know Nelson Chamisa is going to win. Now they are panicking. Zimbabweans must register to vote in numbers and vote for change. CCC Citizens Coalition for Change, People's President Nelson Chamisa.
Yes. So that's another comment, just in one line. I always say to people, gone is the time where we always tell people, go and register to vote. It's now time to tell you, go and register to vote and vote for Advocate Nelson Chamisa, vote for Triple C. Now it's time to tell you, you need change, and Zimbabwe needs that change. And that change can only come through Triple C Citizen Coalition for Change, led by none other than Advocate Nelson Chamisa. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ndineka clip kana ndichida kukuratidzai vateereri nevatariri ke zvambotaurwa earlier on kuti pane maroadblocks angaiswa nepolice ekupreventa vanhu kuenda kurally, thank you rally yapresident Chamisa, but vanhu vafamba. So ndineka clip kandawana kari kungoratidza vanhu vari kufamba vachienda kurally. Let me play it. Yes.
Wow. I love that. Mama wanga achitamba kongonya vana vazhinji vechidiki ana Loveness havazive kuti kongonya chii kana kuti
kunze kuti kana waitamba traditional dance kuchikoro unoiziva.
Mosombovaratidza chief.
Jamboya nokuti kongonya panapa kana bum jive.
Muchine marivo acho here chief.
Tinozorova.
Akadzoka marivo. Marivo akadzoka machi.
Yeah, so you can see from what is happening in Masvingo. People are walking in the bush because the roads were barricaded by the police, by Zanu PF youth, but they still found a way to get to Mucheke Stadium. This is the resolve that the people on the ground have. Sakayoka Naoka Garakuno diaspora and are not doing anything when people are doing everything possible to make sure that they add value to what the movement is doing. Let me take this opportunity to congratulate Molly Chimombe, who just returned from Zimbabwe. I don't know where she is, but I just want to appreciate Molly Chimombe for going to register to vote. We want more people to go and register in the diaspora. If you are in South Africa, you're in Zambia, you are in Namibia, you are in Mozambique, really, you do not have any excuse not to be a registered voter. Inini ndine kodzero yekutaurira izvozvo kuti ena unoregister kuvhota kana usina unoregister kuvhota uri kuregerera nyika nekuti inini I'm a registered voter. Ndakatokwira ndege kuenda kunoregister kuvhota, ndikazokwira futi imwe ndege ndakuenda kunovhota. Saka I have the local standee kuti kukuudza iwe uri kuSouth Africa kana kuZambia kuti are letting us down if you are not a registered voter as yet. But that doesn't mean that we'll stop fighting for the diaspora vote. We'll continue fighting for the vote, as the president was saying. But those who can go and register to vote, please, let's do that. I know there are comrades in the UK, in Germany, in Australia, that have also traveled to Zimbabwe to go and register to vote. Let's all do that.
Yes, yes. And I also want to congratulate Sis Molly or Madam Molly. Let it not stop there. Kuregister kuvota chete because tinofamba kudzokera kunovhota. Tikadzokera tonovhota ndozvikuti zvinhu zvitifambire zvakanaka. Mukangoregedza kunoregister kuvhota man, mukangoregedza kunovhota manje maregister kudai so. Motoziva kuti vhoti yenyu iyoyo ndio inoshandiswa kuriga neZanu PF. Vanoti makavhota imusina, so let's go tinoregister kuvhota todzokera futi kunovhota. Iko zvine tangomirira date iro ndiro richashambadza everyday chief pano. Tichashambadza tikangoziva date iroro chete. Iro tichatotsvaka kana masongs kune vakomana vanogona kuimba chaivo ka vatotora song yekuplaya everyday. Zvekuti munhu achimuka isong iyoyo, achirara isong iyoyo, ari kubasa isong iyoyo. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, DJ Prof. A very important point you made, that once you've registered to vote, it's important that you actually vote, because that your vote is the one that can be used to rig. Because vanoti kwakaregister so many. Saka if you don't go and vote, vanogona kutora that vote yamusina kunovhota ndo yavanoitora voisa fake ningirikini yavo voti, this number of people vakavhota. So very important point you raised there. Thank you so much.
Kuna mukoma tasuwa nyakurwa awo. Mukoma tasuwa nyakurwa, thank you for your states. They might be very close to the reality on the ground and the truth that is going to happen in 2023. But let me tell you, kana irinya ema agents, hands na president, you don't put your cards. Kana ini mchitama ma cards, ma 5 cards, 8 cards, autaridze munhu ndine majoka. Kana iwewe uri kuda kubetsera in terms of what you think can be done to manage kuti tikwanise ku manage our polling agents, conduct anyone amongst us, cannot anyone who waunoziva in the movement, in the citizen movement, kana uchida contribute either contribution financially or contribute physically as a person, and this is what muri kupe mukoma nyakurwa. But that's what exactly we are consolidating now. And manzwa president nasi vachitaura kuti Musa, don't worry, this time we know, and we are going to vachasa what did not takamaya ma polling agents kwese saka anenge aripo, don't worry, and we'll be ready for that. Tikutaurire now panapa kuti how are we going to do it? Those are tiri kurambira kuti Zanu PF haifaniri kuziziva izvozvo. Inofanira kuzorohwa nezveusiku musi wekuvhota nekuvhotesa, unoti aizvi vakomana zvavakazara kwese neyelo topinda machena. Thank you.
So I'd like to see on that comment, which is worrying. The comment from Sarah.
Yes, thank you so much. I would like.
Lady Stella, can you hear Leader Loveness speaking?
I hear her, but she's breaking out. Try again, Leader Loveness.
Oh. Okay, I was saying there is this worrying comment of Sarah Mazengera. She's saying initine chitupa chakanzi alien. So last time vakandirambira kuregister. How can she get help so that she can register to vote?
So I saw a response from a comment. I don't know, Chief, if you want to say something, but I saw a response from a comment there that I think there was a comment, a response to that comment.
Well, let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, there was the response to that comment that you just go to Makombe with the 10 bond. I think they will change. They will change that ID against alien into a citizen. I think they knew. Yes, that was the response. So Pakarambiro, I don't know when, but I know people pre 2013 election constitution. The alien, the people with the ID against alien, they were not allowed to vote in Zimbabwe. But after that constitution, it has got a clause that debank that alien thing to go and take. It's either you register with that alien ID or you go to Makombe or anyway, kune registrar office close to wherever you are. Wongonochinjisa chitupa ichocho and you pay that amount. I don't know, can I actually still 10 bond, but you pay that 10 bond and then woku pachi chitupa che citizen. But that alien ID must be more than 5 years in, which is I know most of the people wakazwana kudara. And after 2013 hakuna munhu aizopiwa chitupa chakanzi alien, vese vaipiwa chakanzi citizen. So that's what I want to just share. I don't know, Chief, if you have any other information regarding to that.
Yes, aliens are now eligible to vote in Zimbabwe, and sometimes, Zanu PF takes advantage of people's ignorance to constitutional changes. So we have a lot of people that have been turned away for things that they shouldn't be turned away on. My advice to this person would be go and try and register, on a different day, maybe with another person, or to the next polling station, registration place, because as far as we know, even after the 2013 constitution, aliens are now allowed to vote in Zimbabwe. And there's another question from someone: when you were already registered the first election, you need right now, Ojin, if you registered in 2018, you don't have to go and register again. You can actually check your name, whether it is still appearing on your polling station, because people have been removed by Zanu people, because that's what they are busy doing. They see someone like me, this one will not come and register, even come and vote you. So you need to double check that. I think we have always been publishing on Change Radio how you can check here. There is just a link that you click and you put in your registration number, and it will show you whether you are still registered, and your polling station will appear. I constantly check mine. That's why I know that we can be able to bring up that link and give it to Odin, so that she can be able to check whether they are still registered. You need to check. Don't just take it for granted that you were registered in 2018 and therefore you should be in the voter roll. Please double check.
Yes, and Ojin, The link is on the screen right now, but we are also going to post it in the comments section, so you can just click on it or copy it and save it for when you would like to use it. I think maybe we can go back to the president's speech and listen to another extract from the president's speech, if that is all right.
Yes.
Munyuzeramu ndikakura momo ndichiona ndagara ndiri mumhandai mwamadhiringi asina bwino muMN Smith muSergeant Smith saka hakuna chemasoja chandingauza vamweni hamuzizive kuti ndakanga ndaronga zano ndabva pagutu rokuti ndaida kuita musoja ndokubva ndatoenda kuita mamedical test ndikatoenda kumainterview naamwe ainzi gamwe kuair force ndaifanira kunoita pilot zvapera izvozvo ndobva ndati handisi kuzonofa here kutraining asi sekuru chivanga anozviziva vanoziva kuti kana achitaura nemi vari kutaura nemusoja asingandengendeki asingazunguruki wekuti kana paamira hadzokere kumashure saka tinoremekeza mauto edu mwedzi uno wekuremekeza mauto nava ndo vanotiprotekta ndo vanotirwira chinosarutwa haisi pati chinosarutwa hasi munhu chinosarutwa iconstitution chinosarutwa vanhu nevhoti yenyu yamune maita pamavhotera ndo panosarutwa nemusoja wezimbabwe panika pa2023 2018 ndakataura ngati mudhara wakanditaimira but apa wanyanga yaona apa kwose arwirwe asi piri tinomonozoranga mudhara apa ndakamira munodisikira here Masvingo eka ndava kuno kuMasvingo makakosha hatidi kuti Masvingo edu ave Masvingo enhamo hatidi kuti Masvingo edu ave Masvingo eruvengo hatiri kuti Masvingo edu ave Masvingo ekupokana nekupondana nekukuwadzana Masvingo ngave Masvingo erudo ngave Masvingo ebudiriro ngave Masvingo erugare ngave Masvingo ekugadzira mabasa vana cold storage dzidzoke vana dairy board dzidzoke vana brewery board dzidzoke makambani auye muno mari inotodzoka kana macheta mukomana mukacheta mukomana eno henyu munotoda mukomare kana mukomana saka tiri muno Masvingo isu sanganga hangu kunhengerero nokusedza makanzera handisinyanyogara pano inotarisa politics dzatiri kuunza munyika muno dzakatosiyana nezvangadziripo vamwe vanenge vachititambisa unza vanhu vaite jamanja ita kuti vanhu vaende mustreet ndiwe unoteererwa ukataura vanhu vanobuda ngeaa Mwari havana confusion Mwari kana vandipa chiuno vanenge vachindiudza kuti famba apo wozodai saka musandimanikiza kuita zvandisati ndatumwa kana ndazotumwa zvandigara ndopandinoita zvinofana kuitwa izvo
Yes, very, very powerful delivery there by President Chamisa. Anzi rudo tinoda Masvingo ave Masvingo erudo, Masvingo eprogress. Munotina zvaizvi mapanelists.
Hanzi Masvingo erudo, Masvingo erudo. I think it was responding to some people that have been calling upon the president to get in the streets and cause mayhem in the streets. And we know what these people want. They want President Chamisa to be arrested, get in the streets and then get arrested. If you do things that are unplanned, you do things because you have been pushed by certain individuals or by some people, you get in there unprepared for what may happen. And that's not the way you win against an opponent or an enemy like Zanu PF. The people just don't understand the strategy here and what is going on. There is no way we can win or fight against Zanu PF. They have machine guns. They have everything. They have even weapons of mass destruction, if you may want to say that. They have, they have the army, they have the air force. President Chamisa, he has the people of Zimbabwe. He has the citizens. Therefore, he must be strategic. He must be smart in what he does. ZANU-PF is trying to lure, President Chamisa into a physical fight, of which we can't win a physical fight against ZANU-PF because of the advantages that I've mentioned. So we really have to be smart. We can win this without having to go to war. It has happened. It's happening in other countries, and it's going to happen in Zimbabwe. Citizens just have to do what they need to do. Every Zimbabwean has to do what they need to do. We just need to go and register en masse, encourage others to register, and then also turn up en masse to go and vote. I like what is going on in Kenya. I know we are going to move on to that. We should now, but I like what is going on in Kenya, that you have a voting population of 14 million registered voters. And up to now, you can see the numbers are telling over 13 million people have turned out in Kenya to go and vote. And you see that when they finish counting the votes, now they're just a little over 50% or 60%, somewhere thereabout. You see that they are going to reach the 14 million mark, which means they are going to get almost 100% turnout, or maybe a 90% turnout of the people that registered to vote. That's what we need to do in Zimbabwe. In Zimbabwe, we have a voting population of over 9 million people, and 3 million don't register. Last time around, only close to 6 million people were registered. But if you look at the results, you see that about 4 point something million people ended up actually voting. And you see that almost 2 million people that were registered to vote chose not to go and vote. That's bad. That's really bad. So Zimbabweans, it's upon us. Sometimes you don't even have to go into the bush. You don't even have to start looking for weapons to fight. We can fight this war if every citizen takes up their responsibility to go and register to vote and to vote.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Chief. Your words and the words of President Chamisa bring to my mind this analogy yandinombonzwa inoshandiswa nevanhu yenyoka ne-eagle. Hanzi gondo kana richirwa nenyoka harirwire pasi nekuti inonzwa kuti nyoka kando element, ground ndo element yenyoka. Nyoka iri fast on the ground and it strikes fast. Saka gondo zvarinongoita rinongonhonga nyoka nepamusana apa fly at great heights, and then nyoka kana isisina ground to support it haichakwanisa kuita anything, haigone kana kustrika. And another analogy inoshandiswa pane vanoita zvekuchechi yekuti we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities. Saka ndo zviri kuitwa napresident Chamisa chaizvo zvekuti vari kuti we are not going to physically fight Zanu PF nekuti Zanu PF kando zvavanogona. Saka isusu we are not going to fight them on their terms. We will take this fight to another realm kwavasiri equipped kwavasingazive kuti kunorwiwa sei in the realm of the spirit. Ndosaka muchinzwa president Chamisa vachitaura nezvamwari hanzi mwari ndo vanonditungamirira vanonditi ita so because he has chosen not to physically fight but to take this to the spiritual realm. Saka mwari ndo vari kutirwira apa vachitigaidha through president Chamisa vachitiudza kuti itai so. Saka with God on our side, victory is certain. I don't know, my panelists, DJ Prof, Leader Loveness, Mangamine, something to add? Chief.
Oh yeah, let me just add a few points. I'm recalling mashoko akataurwa naObit Mesarori last week. Vachitaura kuti situation yatanga tiri when we were in prison is the same as the situation yavave iye zvino vari out of prison. Muri kuendezwa?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
There's a feedback somewhere.
Which means
let's mute.
Which means Zimbabwe is a war, is a prison. People are suffering in Zimbabwe. Their suffering is that prison in that prison called Zimbabwe, and they can do nothing about it unless next year if they vote. So if I try to biblicize this, Masvingo Rally, they united when they were inside those walls. They united. They started singing. Kusvikira Masvingo Rally akapazika vanhu vakabuda mujeri. So I'm trying to say, with the unity yandiri kutaura yakaitwa nevanhu vakaimba Masvingo Rally akapazika, is the unity yakaita sokuti vanhu, let's register to vote, let's unite, let's register to vote, let's encourage everyone to register and vote, so that we will sing vote for Triple C. Next year munhu wese ozopa kuvhotera Masvingo Rally akakomberedza Zimbabwe, then we have our freedom, we have our change in Zimbabwe.
Yes, thank you. Powerful Leader Loveness. DJ Prof, naona mamchigutsirira mamwine 1 or 2 to add on.
No, I was agreeing with everything that has been said with other panelists, and just to say, I think President also is rewinding people back to yesteryears. Vataura zvimwe zvokuti I think whoever terror that speech, even whoever is going to listen to that speech, unotozoona kuti zveshuwa but ZANU-PF iri kutijairira zveshuwa. You know, there were things like Blue Ribbon. I still remember my adverts pa TV tiri vana vadiki kudiswa chibataura na mwerewere. Those things are gone. You know, we used to go to the shops isusu tikatumwa kunotenga half bread. Waizonopiwa kana maswitsi ataiti zvimaseko so waipiwa zvitatu zvokuputirwa muchimwe chipepa chemechisa chachine lion so hakusina zvese, you know. Exactly. Hakusina zvese. And I'm looking at my 2000s, you know, my 2000s are able to vote now. I'm looking at them and I'm like, do these people know how Zimbabwe was? Hey, isusu takaita lucky rekuti I think takararamawo 3, 4, 5 years of that Zimbabwe. That yekuti maiti muri kuprimary mukanzwa kuti vamugabe vari kuuya maikwesha nemanga kuti unga chatosagomborapo, you know, at a time. And we grew up with him and knowing how he is now, and he died in the name of that our generation. Now there comes Emerson Mnangagwa, who is worse than Robert Mugabe. It's like we are flying from a pan into a fire. So I really feel for the for the young ones. And sometimes I think we need to educate especially up to 2000. Kuvataurira nyaya zvaiitika kudhara, it will be like the same as kutaurira generation yedu about the war. We don't know about anything. So what we need is good living. What we need is the economy of the country to be well for everybody. Ndikaendawo kubasa, munhu akashanda kubasa anoziva kuti mhuri yangu inoenda kuchikoro. Ndikaendawo kubasa ndikashanda anoziva kuti mhuri yangu inodya kumwedzi. Kwete kuti the whole country munhu wese raavhenda. We can't do like that. Thank you.
Thank you, DJ Prof. What do you say? Shall we listen to another extract from the speech? Cannot he turn that to the next topic?
Can we listen to the last one, then we can go to the next topic? We really need to speak about this speech of the president because it was like rich in everything today. So let's listen to the last one, then we go to the next topic.
Okay.
Ndakazoona kuti mabvuma kuti mukomana ngadi kopinda ere mukomana Masvingo oye toda kuti mudzokere paya pekuti Masvingo yaizikana ndo dhorobha guru rokutanga asi hamuna chokuratidza marobhos akatanga maimai mabuilding wanoenda mudenga panongone 1 or 2 unoona masoko aripo enirichas yakaipo ndiri grade 1 iyo iripo alien company yakaipo ndiri grade 1 iyo iripo tinano yakaipo ndiri grade 1 ndaona wasikuti matainda kunotambira kumamagai haisipo kureva kuti kudzokera kumashure padevelopment yemuno Masvingo. Mvura yenetsa hakuna mvura. Marodzi acho ukatarisa hapana tiri kufamba. Ukatarisa upfumi hwenyika huri kubiwa. Ike zvinotarisai vanhu kuenda kunana Chilonga. Vanhu vatorerwa minda yavo. Choke Mukosani vakabviswa pavaigara. Migodhi iri kuuya ichitorwa, vanhu havana benefit. Vanabikita minerals, no benefit to the locals. But they've been mining for before 1980, but ukaenda kunharaunda hauoni chiripo. Tingava vanhu rudziko vari mumamuturi, isu vari chivemombe danga rakazara. Mashoko akatenda kuvatorwa, ko upfumi hwedu hunariko. Azara muturi mukaka aiwaka, kotiri muyeyani. Isu pahurumende yedu hakuna kanobviswa panzvimbo yemadzitateguru ake. Nyaya yeminda, nyaya yematitle deeds is an important issue. Vamwe ndakanzwa kuti akapinda mukomana tinotorerwa minda, aiwa garai pamuri mutizete. Tichipinda nokuya kuzokupa title deed pauri ipapo haubviswe nepati, haubviswe nehurumende, nokuti nhaka yemadzitateguru ako. Kwatozokuita vanhu chipakirwani zokuti vanhu unonga kuti paelekshoni dzakusvika tokubvisai mukarisa kuvhota, tinoisa sei mukarisa kuvhota. Nyaya yenhaka yenyika haisi yekuvhota. Tinonzi kurasira kuvhota kuvhotera Zanu-PF. Zanu-PF ndo mudzidzisi werugare, ndiyo mudzidzisi wemabasa. 5 million maZimbabweans ari kuSouth Africa kunze kwenyika kunana Europe. Inyaya yokuti pagedha hapana munhu ari kudhiraivha ana license. Vamamvura havasi kugona kufamba nebhazi renyika. Ifai kukomana pafambe nenyika, nyika igare zvakanaka.
Yes, yeah. The speech was loaded. Person rungo pika randomly, and pese patrungo pika murungonzwa kuti ya mukomana anga achitaura. Anzi Zanu iri kutidzosera backwards. Can you imagine 2023 kuri kunzi Zanu iri is continuing in power. Can you imagine what it's going to be like? Nepatiri zvinezvi tivape another 5 years. Munoti chii nazvo mapanelists?
Another 5 years, I can't even imagine. Another 5 years, it will be worse. It will be worse than hell. Another 5 years, I'm sure vanenge vakunyatsoita zvavanoita vachiitisa svoto vachiziva kuti we have got nothing at all that you can do about it.
They are actually already doing it. Varikuzviitira svoto already. So imagine now today we received a report kuti the Minister of Finance could not account for the 10 billion that they used for command agriculture. 10 billion that they use without an approval of parliament. Whereas the constitution says that when they want to spend government finances through the Minister of Finance, it must go through parliament for approval. 10 billion US dollars, not bond. They could not account for that. The auditor's report is very clear. So tell me, someone anotnyanga this 10 billion where a country has no medication in hospital, the whole country has no cancer machine for chemotherapy. Potholes are everywhere in the CBD, even kuma location watinogara. You walk mu location kungobuda panze kuenda kumashop nokudzoka unodzoka une shena unga ngurubva kumunda, yet you are in the capital city, you know, and those things zvinongokuradza kuti vanhu vakutozviitira svoto and vari kuzviitira kuti vari kuziva kuti vakurwa pasi. Hanzi kubvongodza muto kuseva kwa anenge akaguta, anoziva kuti muto wese ukazara sadza vane nzara ndo vanosara vachiseva ita ndabasa nazvo. They are busy constructing and buying houses outside Zimbabwe. You see Manoa Mnangagwa with a Lamborghini. He's just a general of Makunkuku army, where they are not even being paid. Where did you get those billions to buy those Lamborghinis? Saka vari kuba zvokuba zviya zvokuti ndo pamunozonzwa president even nhasi vazvitaura kuti vari kudya mari yenyika kunge vari kudya mushonga musana usina dosage. Vari kuba and vari kuba zvokutoba zvokutoratidza kuti kana vatobva go back to that Mozambique era yatonzwa kuti when the white people left Mozambique, the Portuguese left Mozambique, vakasiya vadira cement kwaiva nema resources. That's exactly what they are doing in Zimbabwe. Havasi kudirawo literally cement, but vari kudira cement through what they are doing now, so that it would be hard for the new government to dig that cement out. And we know that they are doing that. President was very clear. And this message, I think, must resonate to majority of people. And majority of people, I think they now know who ZANU-PF is. People of Chilonga now knows who ZANU-PF is. People of Mtoko knows who ZANU-PF is. People of Mzarabani knows now who ZANU-PF is. Because they have been located and relocated in their own land. In the motherland that they call Zimbabwe. Kune kuchinzi akarura ivhu racho ndo pauri kudzimba, pakauya murungu achida kudai wodzimba, wonzi dzoka pomwe, zviri kuitika izvozvo. People of Epworth, for Christ's sake, they have been dodged and they were woodwinked for quite a long time. Tichakupai matitle deeds. Akavota chakupai matitle deeds. Last by-election, Mnangagwa wakaenda kuEpworth akanaudzwa kuti 2 weeks after election tikupai matitle deeds havana kana nawo vakavotera ZANU-PF. How can it be that woodwind with ZANU-PF that we know its colors? It will not change that political party. The only people that will feed themselves is the people that are close to the elite, close to power in ZANU-PF. And the people, even the people in ZANU-PF, those who are listening to us here on this platform, they know. But unoziva manje chinonetsa ndechekuti vanhu veZANU-PF vacho masupporters acho anoti akakajoina zvigure chekuti haubudi. Even ukaona kuti hazvichaita handichakwanisi kuridza ngoma unoramba urimo. Ndo zvakaita most of the people of supporters of ZANU-PF. But there's the chance. Mukomana is around. Mukomana is here to liberate us. Mukomana is here to lead us to a new Zimbabwe. And Mukomana, let's vote for Advocate Nelson Chamisa in the Triple Z. And the president going by 1 week and soon as 100 days. Mukanba 1 week, 1 week chat, you know. That's when you start tasting milk and honey of Zimbabwe. And I'm ready. My family is ready to give, even if it's that 1 week, to Advocate Nelson Chamisa. Thank you so much.
Thank you, DJ Prof. Sorry, Ndamboita, my network issues Nikadona, so I may have missed part of what you said. To my two other panelists, mungade ku edere pamsoro pe zvatorwa na DJ Prof.
Yeah, I mean, just to agree with DJ Prof that the people of Zimbabwe now know who ZANU-PF is. But I want to add that the people of Zimbabwe now know their leaders. They know their leaders. They know that President Chamisa is the one who is going to change their livelihood, who is going to change the situation in Zimbabwe. I think we saw today in Mucheke Stadium, one member who had gone, I think he's a former member of parliament or councillor, who had gone to Kwadagi, and he came out, openly and declared that he is now a Triple C member. He has now renounced his membership to MDCT, and a lot of people are doing that. And I'm also in the know that even ZANU-PF supporters, they are moving away from ZANU-PF and joining Triple C. Everyone is seeing the discord and the disorganization in ZANU-PF and in the government. They know who is responsible for their suffering. They know who is responsible for us not having medication in hospitals. They know who is responsible for a dysfunctional education system. They know who is responsible for the roads where you have to choose to fall into, a smaller pothole or a bigger pothole. They know who is responsible for all that. And that's three ma pothole. Atove makomba chao. Yeah, akazara murodi. And the people of Zimbabwe know who is responsible for all that, and they are ready for the president. We heard the president asking the people, "Kuti murikuda here mukomana apinde chaunga chese chikati hongu pindai president. Murikuda here mukomana apinde zvikanzi apindai henyu president." And zvavari kutaura president zvokuti he doesn't need much time to change the situation in Zimbabwe. Some people may look at it as it's called hyperbolic exaggeration. Kuti munhu ari kuwedzerera zvinhu zvisingaitike. But it is possible. Look at Zambia. How many months has HH been in power? But look at what is happening in Zambia. Look at the amount of progress that HH has made. Now, the Zambian kwacha has overtaken the South African rand in a few months. So why do you think that President Chamisa will fail to change the fortunes of our country in a matter of time? Personally, I believe that even those spaghetti roads that people say it's an exaggeration, there is no exaggeration, my citizens. There is no exaggeration. Ndikangotara kuti ma-citizens ndobva ndafunga Susan Mutami. Hakuna munhu anogona kutaura zviri so passionate about citizens kana kusvedza zita rekuti citizens kupfuura citizen Mutami. Ma-citizens, teererai zvenyu. zvinhu zviya zviri possible. It's possible to have those spaghetti roads. Inini, I sincerely believe that. Why do I believe that? I know Zimbabwe is rich. I know most of our millions, most of our money is going to ZANU-PF's pockets. It's being stolen by ZANU-PF people. We are losing at least $2 billion every year to corruption. So if you put $2 billion in our country, you know, in building roads, tinovaka Zimbabwe yese from Limpopo to Kariba, from Masvingo to Mutoko, from Plumtree to Chimoyo. We will do that. It is possible. All that money that we have, sometimes we won't even need to borrow money because we have the money in Zimbabwe. Zambia have turned its their fortunes in a matter of months. And Zambia, if you compare Zambia and Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe is better off in terms of resources. We are adorned with a lot of resources. So why would we not be able to do that? We just need to plug corruption, make sure that all the money that is coming from our resources, all the money that is coming from everything that Zimbabwe produces from our agricultural products, all that money is put back into the economy, into the people. But ZANU-PF is not doing that. That's why they make it look like it's difficult to have those spaghetti roads. Botswana have spaghetti roads. Mozambique is having spaghetti roads. South Africa has always had them. Very soon we'll be seeing, you know, all those happening in Zambia. So personally, I sincerely believe that we'll be able to turn around our economy in a matter of months. It's possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Leader Loveness Mamwine, 102.
No, I think vanamukanya vanga vatotaura kare zvemombo.
Yes, it's sure. Ndizvozvo chaizvo. Ndingade kuti kana paine vezanu vambotaurwa vaive vakajoina zvigure kusingaresignwe advice. Kana maona kuti aneta nezanu but hamukwanise kubuda mupati, chingoitai zvakaitwa kuZambia. Kuma meetings munoenda mongoitawo unge zvinonzi muchiri kusapota, but musi wekuvhota munenge muri mega, munoziva mega pekuvhotera, and free yourself from the cult yamakajoina. You don't have to spend the rest of your life muri kuzvigure. I think we are ready to move on to our next topic, Anditi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Kenyan election.
Yes, that's right. Here we go.
Okay. Right. Zimbabweans, let's learn from our neighbors. Let's learn from our fellow Africans. We watched something happening in Malawi a few years ago. We watched something happening in Zambia very recently. Now we are watching what is going on in Kenya. Citizens of those countries are playing their constitutional role. They register to vote. They turn out to go and register to vote. They fight for what they believe in. They fight for what they are entitled to. This year, I was, impressed seeing Kenyans in the United States voting, Kenyans in the United Kingdom voting, Kenyans are all over the world voting. When we talk about fighting for the diaspora vote, some people think that it's something that can never happen in Zimbabwe. It will happen. It can happen. It is possible to have the diaspora vote. All these countries didn't have the diaspora vote. They fought for it. So let's fight for the diaspora vote. That's why we are here in North America. We are having the mother of all demonstrations in New York at the United Nations. Will be protesting there, in front of all the world leaders. Remember, the United Nations General Assembly brings together all the world leaders. They will be there and will also be there to protest for our rights. And we are calling upon all Zimbabweans everywhere. We welcome everyone. This is not a Triple C event. It's a citizens event. Let's come to New York 23, 24, 25 September. We'll be in New York fighting for our constitutional right. Let's fight like what the Kenyans did. Let's fight like what the Mozambicans did to get our diaspora vote. And let's also do what we need to do to ensure that we romp to a resounding victory in 2023. Let's register to vote. The president ended his rally today, encouraging people and telling people, prompting everyone to go and register to vote. That's what we are witnessing in Kenya. That's what we are seeing Kenyans doing, voting in peace because they fought for it, voting in foreign countries because they fought for it and they got it. We can't even compare ourselves with Kenyans. You know what Kenyans went through. You know, vaitemwa nemabhemba, vaiurayana nemabhemba, vachibayana nemapfumo, a few years ago. But look at where they are. That's the resolve of citizens. And that's what we need to do. I think we are learning a lot from what is going on in Kenya. It's very encouraging. And as for the results, we continue to see the contestation, the great contestation that is going on there. At one time, it's this leader that is leading. The next time, it is another leader. That's what we want to see. It's exciting. I know there've been cases of people, just minor fights. It's not like what we see in Zimbabwe. But Kenyans are really fighting for what they believe. They're even defending their vote. I heard that Odinga supporters, they challenged electoral officers whom they believe that they'd miscounted their votes. They went to them and demanded that there be a recount. That's what is called demanding. That is what is called defending the vote. You stay there. You go to the command center. You stay at the polling stations and ensure that your vote is protected. So, Estella, we're learning a lot of lessons from the Kenyan election. And folks, Zimbabweans, my fellow citizens, I'll leave you in the capable hands of DJ Prof and DJ Loveness and my sister Estella. Saka, I have to finish off now.
Well, thank you, Chief. Thank you for those wise words and the encouragement you just gave to our citizens to be resolute, to ensure they vote and defend their vote. Ndine picture yandaisa apo from Kenya. If I just read the text, it says, this is how important voting is in Kenya for some people. A Kenyan journalist reported that the family of his grandmother hired an ambulance in West Alego to pick her up in hospital where she was admitted so that she could go and vote. So this is an example of the kind of resolution that Chief was talking about, that it takes resolution to get the freedom that we want. Another picture I have here, it says, this is Kenya today. Old people, they know the importance of voting. But here in Zimbabwe, youth, they need to be begged to register to vote. They need money so that they go and register to vote. In the picture, you see an old man who is carried on the back of a younger man, and they are in the queue to vote. So again, another demonstration of the type of resolution that Chief was talking about. This is the kind of fighting that President Chamisa was talking about. We are not going to take the gun and face the enemy on the battleground, but this is how we fight. by fulfilling our constitutional duties and being resolute in demanding our rights and in defending our votes. DJ Prof, Leader Loveness, talking about the Kenyan elections, any sentiments?
I think everything has been said by Chief
Thank you,
Joseph.
Leader Steve. You can go
Can
on,
you hear?
DJ Prof.
No, yeah, but I was just making a comment that a majority of the things has been said by Chief Soshe, that the Kenyan people have shown the world and Africa at large that it's possible. People can go and vote in their numbers. We want those numbers to be, for people to go and vote in their numbers in Zimbabwe. We want that to happen in Zimbabwe as well. And also, I think one of the learning thing that we must also be able to learn in Kenya is that the elections were peaceful. We never heard that there were people who were beaten, brutalized, or who were sent back, or who were assisted to vote and so forth. And we heard that people vote in numbers. And you know what is very surprising is that 22.1 million people registered to vote in Kenya. 14 million so people went and vote. In Zimbabwe, we only have 5 million people, but they don't turn up for voting. And I do not know what is exactly that keep people in their houses. I really don't know. It puzzles me in Zimbabwe because it's a very small country, small population that is registered to vote. I mean, but they can't vote. The whole population of Zimbabwe eligible to vote is equal to the number of votes, or it's even less than the number of votes that one candidate got in Kenya. So I really don't know. I really don't know how we can learn so quick, or what can we do if there's an injection or sort of like a COVID thing that we can inject people to go and vote. We want that. We really want that. So now we are still also waiting to hear the final or the official confirmation of who won in Kenya. As we seeing the results since yesterday, we saw the results. It was it was batamufupi, umwamboendapo umodzika umokwira umodzika zvichidaro. So we are still waiting for the official communication from the Kenya Independent Election Commission, that side, to tell us who is going to be declared the winner. And we hope that whoever wins in Kenya is going to take Kenya to a next level from where they were with Uhuru Kenyatta. Thank you.
Thank you, DJ Prof. Go ahead, Leader Loveness.
Okay, just to add on what DJ Prof was saying, I would like to say to my fellow citizens, let's not continue to be blindfolded by Zanu PF. Vanosimbirira kumamisha just because they know kuti vakapa chikafu kumamisha, that 1 cup of rice yavaitenga nayo mavotes all along. Let's not tolerate that anymore. Kutengwa ne 1 cup kusacrifice 5 years of suffering just because of 1 cup isingakwani kudya family yako, just because of that being raiswa mubucket of watosacrifice 40 yako kwenda sacrifice another 5 years of suffering. Let's not accept that anymore. Piwa zvenyuma 1 cup rice wayo kumamisha, but on the day just know pokuvhotera. Just think of your future. Just think of Kwamava, the suffering that you are in right now, nezvanga zvichiitika all along, and think of on how to build up your future. I think that's all.
Oh, thank you, Leader Loveness. Before we move on to the next topic, there are two comments that I would just like to flag. Our viewers are giving their feedback. I think they tested the link to the BVR voter registration to check their voter registration status. So Rashi Kazembe says, change radio, thanks Raita, I am there. He checked and he found his name and his details there.
Super.
And yes, great stuff. And also Tafiri Musimike says, I checked my name, I am there. But now he's asking, how can I give that link to my family? Would you like to answer him, Champion Prof?
Okay, so what you can do is just you can type that link in a WhatsApp, sort of like a WhatsApp message. You follow the whole link, you type it like that, then you just send. They will click that link, they'll be able to log in and able to see if they are there. Type the link the same way that you type when you type your email. Remember, when you're sending someone your email, when you send a message, basically, but type the whole link without any space following what is there, and then just send to the family groups or individual family members. When they click that link, they'll be able to log in their details and they'll see if they are there or not. If they are not there, please, they must visit to the nearest ZEC office to check or to lay a complaint about their name being not there. That is if they are registered.
Yes.
You can only see yourself there if you are registered.
Yes. And if you do find your name there, please check that your details are correct and your voter, your poll, your, what do they call it?
Your polling station is
Your
correct.
polling station is correct.
Yes, you have not been changed to another polling station. The polling station that you have been voting for you have been voting at all these years, is it still the same? Because we find people going into a polling station wanting to vote during the by-election and find out that their names has been transferred to another polling station without any consultation whatsoever. So please check all those details. You know, if you are voting at a school, if you are voting at a community hall, if you are voting at a tent open space, check tent A, tent B, tent C. Check those things. They always change a small thing that you will not be able to see the time that you go there, and then they tell you you cannot vote here. Thank you.
And you can also just copy this link from here and then paste it in your WhatsApp, and then you can just send it to your family as well. Any more comments to add before we move on to the next? Yes, one of our viewers asked earlier on, Hansi Cooksman, Aita say, Champion Prof.
Okay. So there is a one. I don't want to say misinformed or masquerading person as a state agent in South Africa who called Cooksman. For the people who knows, Cooksman is one of the citizen who is a serious activist who wants people or who want the country to go forward, and he wants also change. So he received some threatening calls from this guy who said that he is in South Africa to look for the people like Cooksman to deal with them. So basically, when you hear a ZANU PF CIO say to deal with you, which means to kill you. So Cooksman happens to send the number of the person to the public platform who was threatening, and the audios that he sent. I'm not sure if you have the audios Leader Estella. I don't know if you have them, but if you do not have them, I'll try to explain a little bit that The guy threatened. Sorry.
I do have it. It's uploading.
Okay,
It,
but I
yeah.
think you were you what you wanted is you can, if you are having the shorter one with I think less than 3 minutes, because the longer one we just want him when he was responding when you called him the second time. Okay, so to cut the long story short is that he he called Cooksman to say this and that and that and that, but Cooksman, as we all know him, like I told you, he's an activist. He was able to respond to him. But a number of people called this guy to find out who he was, what is here for in South Africa, or for the people who are in South Africa, are they safe or not? Are they not going to speak their mind as the constitution entails? The guy was overwhelmed with a number of calls and he went on to Cooksman again and tried to tell him to stop people and stuff, but Cooksman was also adamant that he can't stop people. So I happened to speak to the guy as well, only to find out that the guy is nobody. He's just a nobody guy who doesn't even know what he's doing. But he was just trying his lucky to see if Cooksman will melt to his threats. I'm glad that he met his
Match.
match there. I think we can hear if it's uploaded, if it's an uploaded
Yes.
champion.
Yes. It's not the one you were hoping for, but and the viewers and
Okay,
listeners can hear a
it's
little bit
fine.
of what. Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, sharp. Tachimbotora uri palive, I think live yako wapedza pana.
Mamuchiti chii mukuru?
Ndachida kuzama kubvunza kuti zvaunoita izvi unogona kuzvimirira here kana kuti? Because handisiza.
In what way? Ndo pandisiri kunzwisa kuti kana muchiti kuzvimiririra.
This is a politician.
Huh?
Uri politician, handisi?
Nah, I'm not a politician. I'm an activist.
You're a politician, man.
All right, fine. Okay, fine. I'm a politician. So imuri kuti chii? Ndoda kunzwa pane nyaya kuti
unozwa kuti chinhu chinonzi politics chine ropa here mukati. Do you know kuti politics yakafira ma1000 evanhu? Saka chitambova chenjera mufanano. Kungokupa just a piece of my advice.
All right. So are you suggesting that I should stop, or are you suggesting that I should get lawyers? Because mambovunza nyaya yema-lawyers.
You should stop.
All right.
Because iwe uri kushora mutungamiri wenyu. Unozva kuti unogona kusungwa ukagara mujere kwenguva yakareba.
All right.
Unogona kugara mujere kwenguva yakareba. Taira vana Jobs kala varimo mukati. Hakuna munhu angakwanisa kuvabudisa. Saka mira zvaunoita mufanami. Tiri munhu muSouth Africa kutsvaka vanhu vakaita semi makoronyera munenge muchikurudzira ruzhinji rweZimbabwe kuti ruvhotere opposition party.
All right. But kainini, it's my right ka mutemo weZimbabwe. I've got that right to say whatever zvandiri kutaura.
Zvauri kutaura uchishora mutungamiri wenyika. Unozva kuti imhosva here kuti unokwanisa kumira mukoti yekushora mutungamiri wenyika?
Yeah, of course. Kana ndasanctionwa kuti ndimire mukoti ka ndokwanisa kumira zvichienderana nekuti ndiye ndakataura kuti chii.
Zvaunenge uchitaura izvi uchiti Mnangagwa uchitukirira mutungamiri wenyika, kutukirira bato reZanu PF.
Aiwa, ZANU PF kana mataura zvemutungamiri wenyika ka ndofunga ndanichatozokutererai. ZANU PF haina kana basazve. Asi vaMnangagwa ndosaka muchiona handina kana zuva randakataura kuti vaMnangagwa idoti. If I criticize vaMnangagwa, I criticize him on the basis that maybe he's incompetent or he's not delivering, of which that pamutemo is allowed.
Pamutemo zvinobvumirwa, but unozva kuti zvinobvumirwa zvacho zvinokwanisa kuti iwewe upinde muna taisireva zvakafana nezvaita vana Jobu. Zvinobvumirwa zvavanokwanisa kuita kana zvavanokwanisa kutaura zvinobvumirwa pamutemo tichiendera nebumbiro remutemo, asi kuti unozva kuti zvinokupinza mujodzi. Ndozvandiri ngokuudza. This is my piece of advice. Ndiri ngokupa ma opinion nangu ndo andikukupa chiro.
Well, let me say this, my brother. Let me say this, and I think you should understand my position also.
Yeah, I can understand.
I understand the risk of what I'm doing. It's very risky. But I also,
It's very dangerous.
yes, I also equate this same thing, this same risk, with the risk of not saying it. Because inini pachanguka, like now, I don't have anything. You understand?
Yeah, you don't have anything. I know.
The only thing that I have is my wife and my kid. And unfortunately, I can't even feed them. So that alone, it's a risk. To me, it's a risk. So I don't have an option, and I will speak. Kana ndichazofa wangu sekutaura kwamaita kuti you are here in South Africa to look for people like me. Kana zuva iroro richazosvikawo handina zvandingaita mukuru, because isusu ka hapana munhu anomboshuwa kuti tiswere tichirwisana nehurumende, totodawo kuzvishandira chita mabasa edu tisingaiti zvepolitics. But kana tine vanhu vanotitungamira vasiri kuteedzera zvatinoshuva isusu, ivo vana vavo hamungatudzi kuti vana vavo Munangagwa vanovata nenzara. Vakashanda kupi vana vavo Munangagwa? Vana Collins vakashanda kupi?
Vana vemutungamiri wenyu.
Aiwa zveko chakanyanya kuita vaMunangagwa chisina kuitwa nasekuru vangu vakaenda kuhondo chii chekuti isusu toshayiwawo kubenefita. Izvezvi chaiko ukada kunoita maclaims chaiwo anotaurwa kuZanu PF kunzi uya mutore mugodhi muchere kuti muite sei, anopuwa on partisan lines. So how are we gonna benefit as Zimbabweans? What we just want, tungoda hurumende inotiitira zvatinoda. Simple.
But iwewe
Okay, that was about 4 minutes of that conversation.
Yeah, so ndo matretsa akazoitika, and the conclusion yakazodzoka ine respond and so forth and so forth. But what we are saying, what we want to inform the people and viewers and listeners is that mukomana wamatonzo wachifona achitaura uyo haana chaanotombozivawo, is not even part of the government. Munhu watakatozotsvaka kuti titoziva kuti what is he doing in South Africa, and we find kuti munhuwo zvake ari kutotsvakawo kurarama muSouth Africa. But you know, those people with parents who are staunch Zanu PF people, and what he only knows is Zanu PF and nothing else. That's who he is, but he's not working for any government. And even if he was working for any government, hapana zvaanokwanisa kuita the guy anonzi Cusman ari South Africa, because he can't operate beyond his jurisdiction. Kuuya kubva kuZimbabwe, kuuya ku-undermine the intelligence of South African security securocrats per se, to say and he wants to do what they do in Zimbabwe per se. Yeah, that's what we want to just inform viewers and listeners. But manzwa Cusman aitaura kuti inini nditoriwo munhuwo zvangu kutoti I can't say it, but if you speak to me about the issue of Zanu PF, iyo ndio yandinoataka left, right and center. And that's where we are now, because Zanu PF is hapana haina pundutso yairi kutipa sevana veZimbabwe. At least president, the one that is masquerading as a president, can be held accountable for mismanagement and corruption that is happening in the country. But Zanu PF is just a non-entity. Has nothing to offer to Zimbabwe, has nothing to answer per se to whatever that the guy was claiming, and to what Cusman was asking about. I don't know, Loveness, do you have anything to say?
No, I don't have. Just to say to this guy, handisi kuti ari kufirei zvakataura nevakomana unzi unofirei tisina sugar. He is not employed to the Zanu PF government. He has got nothing, and manziro andikaita, he is actually living in a shack. So munhu ari kugara over ada kuzviita kunge anokwanisa kuthreatena munhu ari kuzviraramira life yake better than him. I feel sorry for that guy. Just because his parents ndeve Zanu PF, he is someone who is supposed to encourage his parents kuti vatraye kuchinjawo life yake nevana vake nevazukuru vake, kuti vavote for change, zvinhu zvichanduke muZimbabwe. But he's here in South Africa suffering. Why is he in South Africa in the first place? Ari kudii kugara upenyu hwakanaka kuZimbabwe nevabereki vake veZanu PF? He is such a fool kana achitenzwa right now.
No, it's just another gamba in making.
Yes.
Another Jonasi in making. Just utter things that they don't know. You know when logic escapes you, it will never say goodbye. That's exactly you will see those type of people, and that's how it is. So yeah, we just wanted to inform viewers and listeners, but there's nothing much to speak about this guy. He's just a nobody, and people in South Africa, including myself, we are not scared of this type of people, and neither we are scared of any type of person that want to prevent change coming into Zimbabwe, because we want that change. Thank you.
Thank you. To our viewers and listeners, if you were worried about Cusman, don't worry. Cusman there is under no threat. That was just a nobody trying to make a name for himself, maybe to be recognized by maybe Zanu officials, Kutazonzi, Mfana Opuamari, whatever. So there is no threat at all hanging over Cusman. Are we going to cover all our topics?
No, not really. That's what I was thinking. I think we can just take for the last one now, the one that we can cover for now, what we think the viewers might need to know more about it, and then I think others can come. We can just speak about I think we have covered a lot of our topics, but we can just cover the Rushinga, or between the Rushinga Nyabani issue or the Rushwaya being acquitted. One of the two, then we can close.
Okay. I think for Rushwaya, people already know about the history behind the whole story, and the topic is quite self-explanatory. She has been acquitted. So, but people might not be so familiar with the story or the Tendai Nyabani story. I think that could be more informative to our viewers and listeners. And if you would like to just quickly comment on the Rushwaya story and then immediately dive into the Tendai Nyabani story, can I start with you, Leader Loveness?
Let's hear from Professor, because I don't have much on the Rushwaya story.
All right.
Okay. All right. So the Rushwaya story, remember she was caught at the airport with gold, trying to smuggle gold outside the country. And during the investigation, one of the security people at the airport witnessed that he was put on as a witness, and he confirmed that Rushwaya wanted to bribe him. One of the people that caught Rushwaya at the airport wanted to bribe him, giving him $500 US dollars for him to let Rushwaya go. But unfortunately, he didn't want to take that money, and hence lead to Rushwaya being arrested. But again, the court has acquitted Rushwaya on that case, not on the case of the gold, but on the case that the guy said she wanted to pay him $500 for him to let her go. So they say Rushwaya hana mhosva, hana kuwanikwa ane mhosva yekuti aida kupa uyu munhu mari. We don't know how they come to that conclusion, because if the security is one of the people that caught Rushwaya at the airport, and we know that with the corruption that stinks in Zanu PF, Rushwaya could have tried all means necessary for her to smuggle that gold. And one of those things that she would have tried is exactly what the security said, that she wanted to pay him the money to let her go, but he refused. But the court has found that she did not offer the money. Not sure if what evidence do they use, was one of the court judges there, or what evidence do they use to come up to that conclusion of her being acquitted. Right. So moving on to the Rushinga case. So the people, you know that Mashola Center is one of the purported to be one of the strongest or one of the violent politically province, and Rushinga district is in Mashola Central, where one Tendai Nyabani, a Zanu PF supporter there, I think is the secretary now, is the secretary of information, Zanu PF, provincial secretary of information, Zanu PF there in Rushinga, is going around threatening people. So he threatened one Mr. Kusatuka in Rushinga at Chimandao clinic, where they were constructing some buildings there. And actually Mr. Kusatuka was even fired from that job because the guy wanted him to join Zanu PF and he refused. And Mr. Satuka is well known, a Triple C member in that area. So he wanted him to join Triple C, and he said he was actually suspended and later being fired from the job that he was doing. Why? Because they wanted him to denounce Triple C and join Zanu PF officially, and he refused. So again, this Tendai Nyabani is said to be one of the aspiring MPs for Rushinga constituents, and is going around the Rushinga district. So Rushinga district is one of the biggest districts in Mashola and Central, with almost 27 wards. I know that area very well because that's where I did my A level, that side. So I know that area from Ward 1 to 27. And where he was talking in Chimandao, it's Ward 16 in Rushinga. He was talking, that's where he's doing all these things, but it's escalating, and he's working with one other guy. I forgot his name, but he's working with one other guy, and the other guy is the son to the Chief Rusambo, who reside in Rusambo area close to Chimanda. They are terrorizing Triple C members in that area. So please, viewers and listeners, if you are from Mashola and Central, particularly in Rushinga district, make sure that these people are stopped in whatever they are doing around those areas. The people from Chimanda, the people from Chimandao, the people from Chomtukutu, the people from Sambo, Mkosa, Marymount, the people of Mazoe Bridge, the people of Kamani, Kanyanzo, please do not allow these people to terrorize you there. You know you have got a right to report them to the police, or to protect yourself from whatever they did that they want to do. They must stop it, and people, let's protect each other. The people of Gwangwa, Nyamatikiti, Makachi, can you protect those areas, please? We are saying this because we know these people have been terrorizing people for ages now, and the time is ending, and they will face the consequence in the new government. We do not allow people to do this to fellow citizens and fellow Zimbabwean. There is Mr. The one in a jacket is the one that has been terrorized. He has been suspended. I don't know if he's. I'm sure he's been fired from the job now because of that man who is terrorizing the people in Rushinga district. Thank you. I don't know if Loveness, you've got something to add on that one.
Oh, yes, thank you, Professor. Just a small correction on that man in your white jacket. Yes, he is the one who was threatened by Tendai Nyabani, the MP for Rushinga. His name is Edson Mawurukira. Edson Mawurukira, that's his name. He threatened to send some Zanu PFUs to go and attack him. In fact, their way of attacking is just as good as killing. And that man on the screen right now is the Tendai Nyabani, is the guy, the Tendai Nyabani, the MP for Rushinga. So it is being said he is actually threatening most of the Triple C champions in Rushinga. He's using Zanu PFUs to do whatever he wants to do to them, bad things at large. And they are saying a month ago, he also brought a bus, a super bus, which was full of Zanu PFUs to one of the complex which is being owned by our Triple C member, champion Cuthbert Mtero. So he forced all the tenants to close, and he actually assaulted one of the clients in that building, which means he's actually taking over. He's terrorizing. He's just as good as the terrorist in Rushinga. So I just want to say to our viewers and listeners, beware of that MP of Rushinga, Tendai Nyabani. He is threatening to kill Edward Baurukira. He's actually threatening all the Triple C champions around Rushinga. Mashonaland Central is a province yakazara vanhu veZanu PF, and this thing yokuurayana kupisirana dzimba is something that they are used to do. So this thing, I think it has to stop. These people, they have to be exposed. People like Tendai Nyabani, I know there are some people he might not be doing this alone, but there are a lot. So exposing him is actually exposing everyone, just for this thing to stop. Thank you.
Yeah, but lastly, I think the people of Rushinga, the young people of Rushinga, this Nyabani, for the people that knows him, is just an old man who doesn't have his destiny close to him. He's gray-haired, this man, if you just try to do that to the people of Rushinga, we are not encouraging violence, but if you try to do that, people protect yourself. You can't be made to be cowardice with this old man, Nyabani. He knows nothing. He's one of the MPs in parliament ever since they get in parliament. You follow all the answers. He never said, he would never utter anything in parliament. None whatsoever. He doesn't know anything, is empty. What he also knows is violence. So people, protect yourself and make sure that you won't repeat that. Thank you.
Thank you. And I think with that, we can conclude this week's episode of News Review. Do you have any parting shots that you would like to leave our viewers and listeners with?
So I just want to quiet, Loveness.
Okay, thank you, DJ Pro. I just want to thank my fellow panelists for sacrificing their time to go through this news review. I would also like to thank our viewers and listeners for sacrificing their time. I'm sure since the program started until now, and but I just want to thank them. Thank you for following us and the comments. I thank everyone who has been commenting we honor that. Zvakatikoshera kuti tione kuti muri kufungei nezvinenge zvichiitika. Ndinoti muve nenguva yakanaka until we meet again on our next program of news review next Sunday.
Okay, so I would want to say thank you so much to our viewers and listeners for tuning with us. We'll see you again next week on Sunday, bringing new news review. And you know, every week we are filled with bags, and you heard that we could not even finish some of our topics for today. But if you come on time next time, we'll come prepared to shoot and so that we can give you information wherever you are. Feel free to give us comments on your Facebook and our YouTube channel. Give us feedback in terms of the information that we are giving to you. How do you want it to present it to you? So from me, on behalf of Change Radio, I'm DJ Prof. I'm out. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much to our panelists and also to those who have left. And thank you to all our viewers and listeners who joined us for this episode of News Review. Thank you for all your comments. We greatly value them. We encourage you to like our Facebook page if you haven't already done so. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you have not yet downloaded our app from the Google Play Store, we encourage you to go straight away and search for Change Radio Zimbabwe and download our app so that you can tune in to our radio anytime and catch up with what your change champions are dishing out on an hourly basis. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. Have an absolutely blessed week and hope you will join us again next week, same time, same place, on our Change Radio Facebook page, our Change Radio YouTube page, and on ZimEye. And a last reminder, if you have not checked your voter registration status, please, the link is in the comments. Just click on the link and check to ensure that you are still on the voters roll and your details are correct. With that, let me leave you listening once again to Cusman's Moyo Wangu. Thank you so much and bye-bye.